Good morning, Jaw. How are you, buddy? You look less than impressed with me right now. Are you having a good day? You've already eaten. I saw your tail going crazy when I was over there. I wish you could talk, Jaw. You could tell me I'm crazy, and then you could say, Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Well, morning walk. Had to get it in. He's got nothing but energy. And I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I think I'm meeting up with Leonard and Jasmine. They're gonna vlog with me today. Today, the dearly departed tour company is supposed to open their little museum, and they actually have Jayne Mansfield's death car. I would love to see that. I know it'll be a little creepy, but I'd still love to see it. What'd you find down there, fella? Okay, I guess he doesn't care. I may have to go back and vlog the rainbow again sometime because it's pretty dark in there and it was pretty crowded, and I think maybe if I can go in there for a lunch or something, I could show you guys a little bit more. There was some stuff upstairs I'd like to show you, but it's a real old school environment and the hallways are pretty tight, so it's kind of hard to get some good camera shots in there, but it's definitely worth exploring again. Well, I woke up today and found that my Barney's Beanery and Rainbow vlog had really brought the hate out in somebody. Little word to the wise. Every comment and every person can be blocked, and I got an itchy blocking finger. Anybody can be kicked out of there. And if I have any problems, I'll just start having to approve every comment. You're just showing what a loser, what a despicable person you are. And when you show your homophobia, that's on you, man. I am not gay. I don't have any problem with gay people. And if you want to preach that on my page, you're preaching it in the wrong place because I have no tolerance for it. Oh, and if you're like a newer viewer to my vlog and you have an idea or a place that you want me to go, I humbly ask that you just Google or YouTube my name and that place first, because 95% of the requests that I get are places I've already done, and I don't want to be rude and not respond, but I also just don't want to like have to always respond to the same request that I've already done. And yes, I've already done Houdini. A million people have asked. I've done the Houdini Mansion. All you have to do is just look up whatever it is that you want me to go see and just see if I've done it before. I mean, I don't encrypt any of the titles. I always put whatever it is that I'm covering is always the title of that day's vlog. So I try and make it as easy as possible. And I also hashtag everything in their little random tag section, so it should pop up as often as possible as it can. Well, once again, we're hanging out today. He's repping SD again, and we're hanging out in front of a hearse. And we're actually going here, the dearly departed, and we're gonna see Jayne Mansfield's death car. Oh, we are here. And this is the mastermind behind this place, Mr. Scott Michaels. One of the first things that he pointed out to me when we walked in was he has Mae West's false teeth.
And then there's only a few ones left in the.
Okay.
Okay, this will be good. Also, no more.
Okay. Check this out. This horrifying pirate statue is from the haunted house in Edgewater Amusement Park. Charles Manson is 5'2". Cool. Check this out. They have obituary and memorials from various people's funerals. Ralph Edwards. Okay, I told you guys. Oh, there's Rick James. Mr. Rogers. Michael Landon, Jaja. Ah, Bob Hope. B. Arthur. Buddy Ebsen's Playbills. How cool is that? Lana Turner's chair. Who's beauty?
So you guys had a chance to go into the other car yet, have you?
There's another door?
Well, no, the other room.
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't? Not you.
No, me too. So yeah, they were. We
Check
talked
that
about
out.
this yesterday.
Yikes.
You're cool.
Oh my gosh. To Scott. Oh wow, from John Wayne Gacy, and then he has some of John Wayne Gacy's art up here of the Seven Dwarves. Doesn't it just send chills up your spine? Oh, Patty Hearst. Oh, this is so sad. I remember this. This was like when I was a kid when this happened. My sister Sam, Rebecca Schaefer, some nut that was obsessed with her, was able to look up her home address and personal information through her driver's license records and went and murdered her. Gosh, isn't that crazy? And look. Now check this out. I actually walked past this and then looked down and saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. Now this I thought was, I was like, what is this, a prop or something? And it was like a, kind of like a Black Dahlia joke. And we're getting ready to enter into the Jayne Mansfield death car room, but I'm just showing you a little bit of everything as we go in. Martin Landau. It's so cool. Now the story to this is that June 29th, 1967, Jayne Mansfield was getting a divorce from her husband, Mickey Haggerty, and she had started dating her divorce lawyer, Sam Brody. He had a $250,000 debt to Jimmy Hoffa, and so she decided to go on the road and help him pay for the debt. So they were off on one of her road gigs to earn some money, and they decided, as they were traveling to the next city, they were going to make this journey during the nighttime. And a pesticide truck had come through and sprayed pesticide into the air, so the truck that they were following decided to slow down as it was going through the cloud, and her driver didn't see that and actually ran the car right into the back of the truck. And because of that, that's why now they have the Mansfield gate on the back of trucks. Now, the rumor was, because as soon as this happened and photographers came out, Jayne Mansfield's wig had blown off and fell onto the dashboard, so they made this rumor that has kind of always stuck that she was decapitated, but she wasn't. It was the people in the front seat of the car, all three of them, Jayne Mansfield, Sam Brody, and the driver, were all killed. And then Jayne's three kids were actually in the back seat, and they all survived. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So Jayne was actually sitting in the passenger side, and then Sam Brody would have been in the middle. Look at that. Just one of those freak accidents. Whoops, sorry about that, guys. It wasn't me. Yeah, one of those freak accidents, and they killed a Jayne Mansfield that had 5 children. Now they also have an extensive collection of Jayne Mansfield.
She had been performing that night in a separate club in Biloxi, Gus Stevens Separate Club. And she did 2 shows that night, and she had to do a morning show the next morning in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So her and her boyfriend, Sam Brody, and her 3 kids were in this car, and Gus Stevens owned it. He's got to own the nightclub. And he got Ronnie Harrison, he paid him to take them. Ronnie Harrison was 18, I think he was dating his daughter. But anyway, the kid was sober, the kid was well rested, and it was about 1:30 in the morning. He was going about 70. I mean, they were flying by cars. And they were going around the curve, and Ronnie got distracted. There was a car spraying insecticide in the distance. And he saw the red flashing light, and as he was looking, he didn't see that there was a truck right in front of him. And they went under it. As you can see, this is how the truck was going about 5 miles an hour, and so he felt it lurch, and he got out of the car after, and he saw that behind him. So Jayne and the 2 in front were killed instantly. The 3 kids in the back were minor injuries. You figure it's in the middle of the night, and they're in this dark road, and there's no cell phones, there's no street lights, and he gets out of his car and he hears these kids screaming in the back seat. He's like, what do you do with that? So he pulled Jayne out, who was obviously dead. She didn't get decapitated like most people think.
Yeah, that's what they were.
It was a cranial avulsion. The top of her head was you can see on that highlighted area, the top of her scalp was taken off. So her face is still intact. But so they could pull out Jayne out of the accident, bring her outside the road, and then bring the kids out.
It's from the Pink Palace.
One of the people that they sped past.
Jayne's, I think they raised that house, so it's no longer there, but basically she bought a $30,000 house when her and Mickey had just gotten together, and they couldn't afford any furnishings, so she gave interviews and said things like, we're living in posh poverty, and would get companies to donate things, or she would go in stores and say, if I sit in this chair and sign autographs in your window, can I have the chair? And she would get things like that.
If this, say for instance, okay, if you look at
These are clearly from various people's funerals. First, I noticed Andy Williams right here.
So these 3 people were killed instantly.
And was she driving?
No, she was right here.
She was in the passenger
If you look
seat.
at this picture, this is where she was sitting. You can see the head injury. There was a wig on the dashboard, which is why a lot of people simply saw her head.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Harrison and Sam Brody, you can kind of see their arms over here. They were crushed into the dashboard. But you see this blood that was down here. I'll show you.
It's terrible.
How you guys doing? Good, thank you. Okay, look closely.
Oh!
Still blood on that.
Oh my god.
There's still drips of it.
Oh my god.
So you can even see in the glove box where her knees hit the glove box. There's still glass on the floor inside this
Oh
thing.
wow. So do you own it now?
Yes.
Oh cool. Wow.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Wow.
But you can see, if you look at the front, you can see how they went under the car, but this is the real point of impact. This stopped on the axle. So when you look at this,
That was her suitcase the night of.
that is what
Jayne loved pink, so everything that she had was pink.
70 miles an hour, dead stop.
This was actually a 1966 vehicle.
But there's still belts in it. There's still, some of the hoses. It's wild. Spark plugs. And it still drips oil. 50 years later, it still drips oil.
Okay, that's Mariska. Right there. You see in the middle? Law and Order. It's her daughter.
I guess you're right.
Wow. There's all kinds of stuff in here we should check out. Costume worn by Sadie Core during the Time Warp and Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Thank you, Scott. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Oh, he's got some pretty cool stuff in here, doesn't he?
I am too. I really am. It's weird about this thing. It's because you're sitting there going,
These are the diorama from Frank's bedroom.
Take a moment and you step back and go, oh.
Glasses.
You know? So it is.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Most definitely. Yeah. After it's
Look, that's the handle from a casket. See what we got over here. We've got some famous bricks. Brick from the Ambassador Hotel is no longer there. That's where Bobby Kennedy was murdered. And it's also the home of the Coconut Grove, where everybody like Clark Gable, William Powell, those old celebrities, everybody drank there. And there's a button of Nat King Cole you can see right there from the Coconut Grove. There's an Ambassador. Oh wow. Linoleum. Can you guys see that? Linoleum from the pantry floor of the Ambassador where Bobby Kennedy landed when he was shot. Wow. Let me get in there and look at that. How creepy is that?
Oh, really?
And then we've got, see, a brick from Rosemary Clooney's house. Brick from the home of Joan Crawford, which I will eventually get over there. Home from Harpo's house. And then Jack Benny. Now let's check this out. Prison wall from Alcatraz. Stone from the crash site of Buddy Holly. Wow. Piece of the Ghost Blair Witch Project. There's a lot of music here, guys, so I'm gonna have to talk over a lot of stuff. Deathbed Prescriptions of Alex Karras, the father from Webster. Wow, that is cool. That's the Rock Hudson bedpost. Can you guys see that? That bedpost he's holding on to right here? You see that? It's right here. Look at this. How cool is that?
It just so happened that it was like a family drama.
And Nat Funicello's jacket.
To take place during the time the car was
Pretty cool.
their town. And it was Trout State Fair.
And that's gun permit with fingerprints. Oh, that's cool. That's her her last mailbox. I recognized it right away because I'd watched a something recently, and it was a special on her when she was still alive, and they were showing how bad her disease had incapacitated her and how she lived a daily life, and showed her husband, who had been like a horse trainer, and they got married late in life. He took care of her for the rest of her life, and his last name was Holt. They show him walking out to get the mail. I believe she spent her last days in Fresno. That is so cool, though. Rock Hudson's bedpost. Now let's see what's over here. I see a drum head signed by the Monkees. It says, to Scott, Charles Manson was not a monkey, Davy Jones. He didn't even try out, contrary to public belief. I'm a believer. Signed Peter Tork and Mickey Dolenz. So he had everybody but Mike Nesmith signed it. Then he's got, it looks like letters from Bruce Davis, Susan Atkins. This one is from... Oh wow. That one's from the Manson house on Cielo Drive. You see that? A lock of hair from Charles Manson's scuzzy head. A duplicate of the fork used to stab LaBianca. Stephen Perrin's clock radio set and unplugged good minutes before the murder. So let's see what we got over here. Stone from the Polanski Tate home. Items found on the Spawn Ranch. I have something from the Spawn Ranch, of course. Foundation from the cabinets where Charles Manson hid until he was arrested. The Barker Ranch. Wow, that is cool. I always wanted to do the Barker Ranch, but I think it's been demolished now. Squeaky Fromm hid behind the tree during Gerald Ford's assassination attempt. You guys remember I covered that when I went to San Francisco at St. Francis. From the home on Easton Drive at Jay Sebring, Tex Watson's truck. Wow, this is pretty interesting, isn't it, guys? From the porch of the Barker Ranch, Death Valley. I love that I'm able to bring this to you guys. This is the very first day of this museum being open. So you're getting an exclusive look, and the guy, Scott, who owns it, has been amassing this stuff for years. My mom's been a fan of him on his dearly departed site. So she's probably really excited that I'm here meeting him and everything, but he's been working on putting this together, and it's so cool that he is nice enough to allow me to photography this, because a lot of places wouldn't, especially when they just opened. So this is Divine. This is from the John Waters movie, and it says, door from room 261 of the Regency Hotel. Harris Glenn Milstead, aka Divine, died in this room. March 7th, 1988, demolished 2007. Wow. Those John Waters movies were pretty far out. They're good, but they're far out. Now, there, check that out. That's the front gate. 10,100. That was the Pink Palace front gate. That is insane. You could walk right past this stuff and just not even know. There's so much stuff here. How about that? How about that? I have to touch it. I have to touch it. I have to touch it. Oh man, I'm touching it. Wow. Wow. Real piece of history. And here's the front of the car again. I don't think I gotta show you guys too much of it. It's pretty dark in here, but
there was one called The Wayward Bus with Joan Collins, where that bus that breaks down and these odd bunch of people that are stuck together.
to be honest, it's really it's a real kind of eerie feeling standing in front of this, looking at that, and just knowing that right here is where Jayne Mansfield died. And if anybody is, you know, this is too much for you, I apologize, but when he showed us where the blood was dripping down the side of the car, I know some people won't like seeing that, but I have to put that on here. I have to. I'm sorry. I really, really want to document this stuff as accurately as possible, so. Ann B. Davis. That was Alice. Esther Williams, Gary Collins. I'll mention the ones that I recognize. Maureen O'Hara, she was in Hunchback of Notre Dame. And Rooster Cogburn, or no, what was it? Yeah, I think gosh, I forget which one it was that she was in. One of my favorites. One of my favorite John Wayne movies. Jack Klugman, Jonathan Winters, Celeste Holm, the Andrews sisters. So these are probably from the wreaths when they, on their star from the Walk of Fame. I would guess that's what these are. When they die, they always put a big wreath out on their star.
No, that's why.
Sid Charisse,
No,
Jerry
that's
Buss, the
why
owner of the
it's-
Lakers, Casey Kasem, Cliff Robertson.
Cool, like when I went back there. So that's why I have that chunk of it there. This is what
That's a
it looks
piece of the
like
heart-shaped
in real life.
bowl.
Where was the
from
house?
The Pink
It was
Palace.
at 10,100 Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, that's the gate. Did you notice that, Lenore?
Seen it, yeah.
There's a picture of it over there as well.
Those things are about 500 pounds each. It was too bad. I mean, too bad.
I got a little bit better setting here. We're getting ready to take off, but I'm going to show you a little bit better view of the car before we go.
Hi, thank you. And are you Jack?
There we go.
Oh, welcome to my little store.
And as we're leaving, this is in the bathroom. I thought you guys would enjoy seeing it.
Yeah.
So we were just talking to this lovely lady who works here at Dearly Departed, and you've been in some movies. Would you mind talking about what you've been in and who you were in those movies?
Well, I guess the most famous one would be Carrie, the first one, of course. And I was one of the bad girls in the gym and the shower and the prom. And then Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there was two biker chicks, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira.
Uh-huh.
One, I was the other one. And I worked on the surfing movie Big Wednesday. A lot of people really love that movie.
Yeah.
And I happen to have gotten into a lot of really interesting movies, cult films, cult classics. And even if I don't show up a lot, I worked on Spinal Tap, but I got cut out.
Oh,
And I worked
wow.
on Scarface and Mommy Dearest and
wow.
it's hard to remember them all, but
That is so cool.
yeah, I worked as a background artist for a lot of years, and I was a stand-in, and yeah, so I did that for about 30 years.
That is great. That is so cool to have that story to tell.
Yeah, it's fun. I never thought I'd get so much mileage out of Carrie. It's really something.
That's so cool. This is cool. In their souvenir little area, they have a rotating case that has pieces of famous estates, famous various things. There's some of, you see that?
So are you guys
Glass from her windshield, Jayne Mansfield's windshield. Frank Zappa's death house, a piece of brick from it. A brick from Lucy's house wall. A brick from the Pink Palace. Patsy Cline death location. The Ambassador. Check that out. Rock Hudson's deathbed. Tile scene in the movie of Pretty Woman. The grassy knoll. This place is amazing, and one of my favorites, John Denver. Now here's a pretty crazy story, is that Terry just told me she also worked with John Denver in Oh God, and I was telling her I want to do a vlog about that includes John Denver, and she told me that she used to go and hang out at that place, so she's probably going to be in the vlog when we do that one. Right before we get out of here, I had kind of swooped past this when I was showing you, and I didn't realize that what I was looking at was not only Whitney Houston's, but Gene Wilder's, and Gene Wilder's was a golden ticket inside of a Wonka bar. Ronnie James Dio. Wow. I'll just show you guys again because I don't want to neglect anybody if you wanted to see it.